Hello everyone, welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. At this channel, we discuss dating advice for the mature woman. The mature woman. And you know who you are. I'm thinking 40 and above now. I've been, my subscribers have been telling me, what about me? What about me? So it's 40 and over. For the algorithm, I think I should choose a target range like 40 and up. So one of my videos, I will put the link in the description box. I did 17 points in a breakdown of a Kevin Samuels video. May his soul rest in peace. People say power, rest in power, rest in power. I say rest in peace because, life can be difficult. And I want to rest in peace. While I'm living, I want to rest in peace. And when I am no longer on this earth plane, I want to rest in peace. I don't want to rest in power. I want to rest in peace. As a woman, I want to rest in power. So I did 17 points. So I'm going to do points 1 and 2. And they are, a wife's number one goal is to manage her husband's ego. And number 2, a wife is supposed to be a man's inspiration. She is supposed to understand his ego. And I thought, what does that mean? Because we all have egos. Women have egos and men have egos. As human beings, we have egos. But I'm thinking from a hypergamous perspective, a man's ego has to do with protecting, providing, and leading the family. And he said a woman's number one goal is to manage her husband's ego. And number 2, to inspire him to understand his ego. And I thought, well, what about if his ego is being kind of negative for a moment, for the day, or the evening? He has a negative ego. It's being a little bit mean and condescending. What do you do about that part of the ego? And then I thought, well, if there's a positive side to the ego as well. The positive side is, like I said, leading, protecting, providing, and her being inspiration for him. And part of managing it is inspiring him, letting him, conveying to him that there's more ways to do a particular thing than what he's thinking of doing. And women are relationally oriented, relationship oriented, platonic, romantic, work relationships. We're geared that way. It's in our DNA. How does this one thing, as a wheel, how does this one thing, which is in the center, how does this one thing affect all the spokes in the wheel, the different things in the wheel? It could be related to work and relationships at work. It could be related to the family. It could be related to extended family members, in-laws, siblings, cousins, everyone. So the woman's number one job is to manage his ego, to inspire him, to create a place of peace for him. And when his ego is, negative, basically to ignore him. Not argue. And some of us, we grew up in households where we argued, we cursed, used profanity, just said mean, hateful things to each other. And then act the next day or a few hours later, act like we never said anything that was hurtful. We can't do that, ladies. We can't do it to our children. We can't do it to our, family members, our friends. We definitely can't do it at work. And so when I see communication, I see it like the way we have to be at work. If you can't cuss out your supervisor and still have a job, then you can't cuss it out, your mate at home. or your children at home. You just can't do it. If you have to make an appointment to speak with your supervisor about something that's important to you, or, you know, a promotion or more salary increase, or a coworker who is not a team player, you make an appointment and you think over what you want to say, the points you want to make. It's the same thing with your relationship with your significant other. You can't just go, you know, vomiting all over them and expect a good outcome. So that's the way I see communication and managing an ego. Now, since we're women, and he was talking about women managing their man's ego, and on this channel we want to get married, so our husband's ego, we have to figure out how do we manage it when, you know, he's being mean or dismissive. And this is where I think the thick skin comes in, and withdrawing energy. I've been practicing this, I think, all of my life when I look at it, because I don't like confrontation. I don't like to argue. But depending on what it is, I might argue. So now when I have like an emotional attachment to the outcome, that's when we argue. We argue when we have an emotional attachment to the outcome. Am I right or wrong? I know I did. But now I don't have to argue with you. I state my point. I've made an appointment to talk to you about my feelings about it. And now it's time for me to withdraw my feelings and let you think about what we've discussed. Now, you know I'm dating. So I'm trying to think, have I had the opportunity to do this lately? And I think I have. I think I have had an opportunity to do this lately with the widower. We talked a little bit about our relationship, not a whole lot, but I've withdrawn myself from the situation because he's not stepping forward. And he doesn't call anymore. I don't call him. The last time we talked was maybe two and a half weeks ago. I called him last. So, you know, it's stepping away from the situation. I am managing his ego by withdrawing. I'm managing my own ego by withdrawing. Nothing personal. When he wants to, he'll call and we'll go out. And if I don't hear from him for months and months and months, it's okay. I've withdrawn my ego. I'm managing my ego. I've managed his by withdrawing myself. So what does management of your ego, of your man's ego, your potential's ego mean to you? I've told you what it means to me. I will see you in the next video. Bye.